Thanks for staying with us, everyone. We are following closely developing story at the River Valley Estate in Ojodu area of Lagos, where a man allegedly killed his wife, a mother of three. Let's bring in Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Titilola Vivour. So Adeniyi, thanks for joining us on the news this hour. From accounts by neighbors and family members, there are indications this may not have been the first instance of domestic abuse in this home. From your agency's perspective, what warning signs typically precede cases like these, and where do you think communities and institutions often fail to intervene early enough?
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I would like to commiserate with the family of the deceased. It's such a tragic way to begin one's year. This case just brings to the fore the fact that every domestic violence case is a potential murder case. That phrase is more than a cliche, it's a reality. I believe that, there's a statistics that shows that for every one case that is reported, 7 have gone unreported. And there's another statistic that reveals that a survivor lives up to 6 times before they eventually leave the abuse. And the 7th time they leave, they may leave as, a human being or as a corpse. Now, the role of the society is very instrumental in preventing violence that eventually leads to murder. Because the society, the community can, be the voice for the voiceless, can speak up on behalf of the survivor. And the survivor doesn't necessarily have to be just an adult. The survivor can also be a child who is experiencing violence. But in this case, it's an adult. So the community has a role to play by, encouraging the survivor to speak up and speak out, and also report anonymously. Members of the community can report without, divulging their own personal information, but just provide information as to who is involved, location, etc., so that government organizations and even CSOs can go in, evaluate the situation, and take the necessary action.
It's sad because you hear neighbors say that they've witnessed a similar domestic violence as recent as late last year. But in a case as brutal as this, allegedly involving prior poisoning attempts, and you're hearing multiple stab wounds rather. What immediate steps does your agency take once such a matter is reported, especially in supporting perhaps deceased children and ensuring the case is pursued with some form of urgency and sensitivity?
So it requires a holistic approach. Relevant ministries have to get involved. For the children that have been left behind, the Ministry of Youth and Social Development will be informed or will swing in immediately to receive the children, place the children in a home, because they would need to have access to psychosocial support and therapy. I heard that, one of the children, either witnessed or saw the mother in that state. We can't imagine the trauma and the long-lasting impact that scene will have on that child. And so it's important for the children, to receive psychosocial support, bereavement therapy, and all of those things. Then this is a police matter. Somebody has died, and it's important for the crime scene not to be contaminated. And so it's important for us, if we were handling this, we would immediately get the police involved. And this will not just be by the division, this has to be by the State Criminal Investigation Department, which will be PANTI. And there's a murder department in PANTI to swing into action. And they will also be ensuring that an autopsy is conducted to ascertain cause of death. Some people are saying it's as a result of stab wounds. Some people are saying she was poisoned. We can't afford to guess. Science has to tell us the cause of death. And then we would also be writing to the Honorable Chief Judge requesting for a coroner's inquest to be conducted so that we can take the learnings from this particular situation. Unfortunately, this case did not happen in Lagos State. It's actually in the Ogun State, access according to information available to us. But I believe that that's what the state will do in this situation. Unfortunately, we hear that the man is on the run, but we know that with information adequate information provided to the police should be able to track him down and ensure that, investigation can commence in earnest.
We have to go now, but many neighbors say they noticed troubling behavior. They never imagined it could end this way. What message does this tragedy send to residents across Lagos and beyond watching this right now about reporting domestic violence early? And what concrete support channels should people know are available before abuse escalates into fatal levels like this?
Every domestic violence case is a potential murder case. It can be the last push, the last shove, the last kick, the last slap. Please don't wait until it's too late. If you know, you believe, you suspect that it's happening, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to us on our toll-free line 08000 333 333. We also have the National Emergency Hotline as well as Lagos State Hotline 767. Yours is to report. Provide adequate information that will allow us to go in and do the needful. It's unfortunate, but it just speaks to the point that, this domestic violence issue is something that we cannot afford to use to take lightly with. And it has shown us again that, it is a potential murder case. And we all have a role to play to prevent this kind of incident from reoccurring.
Titilola Vivour is Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. Thank you so much for talking to us.